List. What else do we have here? Aye. Okay, yeah, we got this clip. This is I'm gonna insert myself in this, even though it probably isn't about me, but I think it might be about me. So this is a clip from Two Bears One Cave, episode number 70, just came out earlier today, starring Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. I think I mentioned Bert on another pod. No, it was Bill and Bert, right? This podcast was with Bill Burr. I think I mentioned it previously. I did mention it, actually. I don't think I know I mentioned it, and it got a very split reaction from people because I ended up rambling quite a bit. But I was talking about Bert's. It felt like he regretted how he maybe acted in public when he was asked about Crystalia, right, and his whole situation. And I meant to play a clip on the show, but obviously I ended up rambling because it was a clip taken from the stream, and you know how the deal is, isn't it? People got a bit upset. I got damn voted to hell, and the comments weren't too kind to me in it. But hey, I'm learning, I'm getting there. So I was watching or listening to this episode of Two Bears One Cave, and like I said earlier, in it, I like Bert. I think he's got decent stand up. I just don't think he's the best person to listen to week in, week out on a podcast. That personality that he has, whatever he has going on, where he constantly needs to be the center of attention, diverts all the stories to him. It just gets a bit nauseating, and maybe the main thing I have an issue with is just the whole like weight loss thing, right? The whole idea that he's just so bewildered why anybody can lose weight. It's impossible. How did when this guy's guzzling like boxes of wine on a treadmill as he's going out for a run? It's like, relax a little bit. It just gets a little bit annoying. That's self-deprecating. Is it even self-deprecation? Whatever that is, just gets a bit annoying. But again, I still think with guests on podcasts, he's definitely one of the more entertaining of the LA comedians, right? He doesn't take himself too seriously, not much talk about politics and society and all this nonsense. He's pretty fun to listen to. But again, like I said, I just think he was, in that situation with Crystalia, again, from the outside looking in, who am I? I'm a nobody. But I just still think, he was a bit of a shitty friend. When Vlad asked him that question, he probably could have gone about it a better way, but he didn't. Say love you. And this episode taken from earlier today, it feels like he might have addressed the clip. I think he might have saw the clip. And I'm a bit bummed because it sounds like he was hurt by it. I didn't want to hurt his feelings, didn't it? Because I like the guy. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I don't like the guy, but he didn't seem too happy about the clip. I think he's talking about me. What do you think? I'm going to play it now. Let me know. Do you think Bert's talking about me, or do you think he's talking about other people? But either way, if he is watching this, dude, I don't mind you. You're decent, but again, small doses in it. I think that's fair to say. But anyway, let's play the clip and let me know if you think Bert is talking about me.
Right. I saw some guy that morning, just shitting on me, just totally shitting on me.
That morning,
this fucking, really honestly, I should have just looked at who he is and what he does and the way he dresses in his reaction videos that he made. Creates no original content, just watches our podcasts or other podcasts and then trashes people that he feels that he wishes he was,
Yeah.
Like he's not going to trash like you or Burr or Rogan, but anyone who's sitting next, because he's like, that's who I see myself as. And who he thinks he really is the guy that's fucking me. So,
and he is watching what, your stand-up, or
we're just watching me and talking on a podcast, and he's just trashing me, just really aggressively.
That's such an interesting lane to react, but your thing is to post negative reactions. It's kind of strange.
I almost want to show you who he is, so you look. The second you saw this guy, you'd go, okay, why would you ever listen to a guy like
Ouch.
that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
The second you saw this guy, and
sure.
so. But I saw the video and I was like, and I thought it was going to be positive, and I looked at it and I was like, oh fuck, this is horrible. And I was like, ugh. And then I start getting in my head about it, and I'm like, start really kind of obsessing because you haven't been on stage, you don't really have any quality of art that you're putting out at the time. Everything's on Instagram, and I've been trying to like wean myself off my stories, except for Thursday nights when the Go Big show airs at 9 o'clock on
You've been
TBS.
trying to wean yourself off of making stories?
Making stories, so I'm like, I'm way oversharing. And I want it to be interesting. I don't want it to be just like I'm at the dentist, I broke my tooth for the fucking 10th time.
Yeah.
Where some stuff is interesting, some stuff isn't, and I just was like, it's almost like Roy Choi went vegan for a period because he was eating so much meat. Meat was on so many plates. He wanted to like reset his palate.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, I'm going to reset my palate a little bit with my Instagram stories and just find choice times.
Yeah, so what do you think? Do you think he's talking about me? I think maybe he is, but it's just interesting, right? These comedians, like, they have so much to say about everything else in the world happening, right? Society, politics, celebrities, because that's what they're paid to do, right? They're paid to come up with interesting and maybe contrarian takes and kind of see the humor in dark stuff, whatever it is, right? You're paid to kind of be you're basically a social commentator in some way, shape, or form, but obviously with some comedic talents sprinkled in to get some laughs, because no one wants to listen to somebody give a TED talk or anything. But the moment you have anything to say about what they do, and again, I don't think I was that critical. I just said I like him in small doses. I think he can be a bit annoying, which he definitely knows he can be. And it is what it is, isn't it? Like that's the situation. And for some reason, he took that as me being what do you call me? A reaction channel, which is, I don't think I am. I don't think I do reaction videos. I just like to watch these guys that just I just make comments. Oh, that maybe is a reaction video, right? Or you make comments about what other people say. The no original content thing was a bit of an ouch. I don't think they do anything original themselves apart from their stand-up and what those marketing skits he does. Maybe that's original content. Fair enough. I'll take that blow in the head. What else did I get accused of? Because he said something like, I really want to be at there. What did he say? I really want to be at... Oh, yeah, maybe, yeah, true. Maybe it is Red Bar. True, I think so. I'm about to say, I think it is Red Bar. Good point. Hopefully it's Red Bar, because I don't think I'm that bad. I think I'm pretty decent. And then what did he say? He said something like, because he really wants to be at that level. No, because the bit that he thought he might be talking about me was this bit, where he said something like, he really wants to be at their level or something. What did he say? What was it?
Yeah, I'm sure.
The second you saw this guy, and so, but I saw the video and I was like, and I thought it was going to be positive, and I looked at it and I was like,
hold on, it was somewhere here. No, where is it? It was somewhere here.
First Order.
Where was it? Let me get it.
Positive, and I looked at it and I was like,
bear with me.
To react, but
trashing me. Just
is watching what you're saying.
Where was it?
But who he thinks he really is the guy
yeah. This is the bit.
He's not going to trash like you or Burr or Rogan, but anyone who's sitting next, because he's like that's who I see myself as. But who he thinks he really is the fucking me. So
okay, maybe that's it. Maybe having heard that again, it might be Red Bar, because I don't think I said anything about being somebody. I don't profess to be a stand-up. Maybe is Red Bar a stand-up? I think it might be, isn't it? Is Red Bar stand-up? Yeah. He wouldn't have been expected. Yeah, so yeah, exactly true. He wouldn't have expected. So maybe it is me. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's disappointing that he took that from what I said in the video. I still stand by what I said. I don't think I was being out of order. It's just an observation, and I think he can sometimes be annoying on podcasts. It is what it is. He's got good stand up. He's definitely a funny guy. I think if I was to roll by a bar or a coliseum or flipping a coliseum, an arena, whatever, a comedy club. And then I heard him, doing stand-up. I would probably be entertained, right? You'd definitely be entertained. He's definitely up there. You can tell he's got flipping, he's got good bits, solid comedian. He'll definitely, destroy a room, as they like to say. But it's on podcasts, it's difficult to take, man. It just is what it is, isn't it? He's just got that kind of personality. He's just too self-absorbed. And I don't know, that whole, alcoholic dad thing is just odd. I don't really understand that whole stick that he does, but again, it's funny. It works for him. It provides him, with ability to make a living and provide for his family. All well and good, but I think the most important part of this is that it's not really a him problem. I think in general, most podcasts, I think with the exception of maybe a couple, are getting pretty difficult to listen to. Even my own, I'd have to say, right? I find it hard to find topics to speak about that don't involve COVID, right? Or don't involve something to do with COVID or something to do with politics. And it's boring. Like I said earlier, I can't wait to get back to normal life just so I can stop following the news and stop following politics, because I don't give a shit. And we, by and large, neither you or I have anything meaningful to say when it comes to politics. We should be really living it to the people who really know what they're talking about. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't be up to us to kind of insert ourselves and give our opinion and kind of try and change the world with what we say. Well, who's going to listen to what we have to say? So by and large, I think that's probably why. And because of that, we're kind of all in this weird loop. It feels like we're in this weird loop where we're trying to kind of come up with content, but we're also trying to keep people entertained. And you should just run out of stuff to talk about, stuff to say, and you could and sometimes the worst, especially when you're unsure, because again, they're in stand-up live entertainment. they're living in sort of unprecedented times. It's really a flip of a coin which way it's going to go in the States. In the UK, we've got some light in the tunnel, but the future's uncertain. So I'm sure all of that, is kind of seeping through, and the acting, how they're talking about it just comes across a bit. So I think by and large, they're all coming across weird. Like even Joe Rogan, I love Joe Rogan, but Joe Rogan's been really difficult to listen to in the last few weeks, except for the MMA podcast. Like it's been hard to listen to him, man. He's been on one, especially with the whole LA lockdowns. Hey, Texas is better, COVID denial. It's just like it's just too much. Do you know what I mean? And it's just bringing out the worst in people. It's just what it is, which is probably why some people are just pivoting away and just watching lots of trash TV and put reality TV show reruns and comedies and movies and stuff. That's what I've been doing most of the time. Spending my time, like I said, I've been watching like at least 2 movies a day, like banging them out, plus documentaries and shit. So I can definitely understand why he'd maybe feel that way, but that definitely, from my point of view, it wasn't meant to be an insult or a dig or anyone. Do you know what I mean? Just an observation from watching the shows and trying and kind of consuming loads of their content over the last few years, if that, in it, because I've got introduced to all of them via the Joe Rogan podcast in general. But it's just funny that these guys, again, like I said, they have so much to say about the world, but in the moment you say one thing about them, they just start, they get their feelings hurt and make it seem as if, like, I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm sitting here like putting together a compilation of all these bad bits and just talking about it week in, week out. I don't do that really for the most part. It's a waste of my time and really not really what I'm about. But hey, everyone has a right to interpret things the way they want to have it interpret. What is it saying that? So what's the comment saying here? I wouldn't expect a Red Bar to be positive. True. Skull Cracker says, no, what is it? James Gandolfini says, I like him because he at least recognizes that he sounds like a fool at halftime. Yeah, true. Like I said, James, I'm a fan of the guy too. I like the guy generally. I still think that what interview that he did, what was the best one? The one that he did with that lady that complained about the Comedy Store. That probably represented him the best. Like he did that really well, man. Like he handled that interview very well because she was being particularly rude. That was a really good interview. I have to be fair. His podcast can be good too, depending on the guest. And when they kind of, comedians nerd out a bit. But when he gets talking about himself, and it just gets a bit nauseating. NC said, James Gandolfini again said here, a lot of other podcast comedians aren't like that. True. NC says, I saw the video Red Bar made about Bert's cabin video. I think that's the video Bert saw. LOL. Okay, cool. So yeah, that makes more sense because Red Bar is a professional troll, man. He hates can someone explain what the deal is with Red Bar as well? What's the deal? Did he not get past on the Comedy Store? Did he get into a fight with somebody? Because I sense a lot of real hatred. Like he hates those LA Comedy Store guys. He hates them to his core because he's going at them continuously. Like he's the one that is he the one that made up the nickname for Joe Rogan, like Toe Rogan? Was that him or was that Owen Benjamin? Someone anyway, but yeah, he hates the LA comedy scene people. He's always attacking them, man. He's going at Bert, going at Joe, going at Brendan, Brian. Like he doesn't stop, man. He's just continuously just hammering, punching him in the face. I don't know what his deal is. I wonder if he's just like a failed comedian or he's just chosen his lane, because I guess that's the thing too, unfortunately, with this whole media thing and doing stuff online, content, whatever. If you choose your lane and you do it really well, there's always going to be a market for it. So if you just dub yourself as like the hater of the LA comedy scene contingent, everyone's just going to ride for you because you're just like NZ saying, you're an agent of chaos. Right? I mean, you're legitimately an anarchist. You're just setting shit alight for the sake of it because you just want to have a good time. James said I think he's run a comedy club. Okay, cool. That makes sense then, because he's definitely associated or attached with it in some way, shape or form. And it just seems to be like, it feels like he has a personal vendetta. It doesn't come across as somebody that's doing it to be constructive or anything. But yeah, he's quite, that's why I'm surprised too. That's why I think it might be me. I'm not too sure. Maybe again, I'm being narcissistic about it. But for the most part, I've never seen a Red Bar video where it's positive. It's always negative, isn't it? So, well, he would say it's negative. He'd probably say it's funny, but I don't think he ever gives anyone any props. Who does he like? Does he like Bill Burr? I'm not sure if he likes Bill Burr. Does he like, or he just doesn't want to say nothing about him because he knows he'll get ripped to pieces? He's gone after everybody. Joey Diaz, like he just doesn't stop, mate. He's just insane. So it's really Bert's fault for expecting anything good from a Red Bar video. Nothing good comes out watching his content. What else said here? I saw Skull said he's become a character of himself, working for his career, but I can't stand him much more. Yeah, where is he now? I don't see him on YouTube. Oh, he's nice to few. That's nice. Is he on YouTube, or does he take his content offline? Has he got his own little site he does? Because I've not really seen his YouTube videos pop up on my recommenders anymore. Because it always used to pop up like a video or two. If you watch a couple of those comedy podcasts, you'd get recommended a few of them on there. Yeah, that's Bobby Lee. Okay, cool. He used to run a comedy club. James Gandolfini says, Skull Crackers 187 says he worked for Anthony, professional troll like Kevin Brennan. Okay, that explains. Okay, so he's like a Kevin Brennan character. Yeah, Kevin Brennan's another one too. I think he's kind of chilled out now, regrettably, but I used to listen to his podcast too. What was it called? Oh shit, it was called something. He used to just every day just press record and just trash people, trash test. He was the only one I heard actually from that scene who would openly talk about people's specials. Most people just avoid it, right? They wouldn't necessarily say anything. They're talking obviously code and you kind of decipher who they're talking about, but he was one of the only people that I remember who used to kind of go at them really hard, really hard. So what can you do, man? Like I said, innit, I like Bert overall. I just think, you have to take him in small doses. I don't think that's a bad thing to say. What else do we have here? Let's move on. We've got something. Oh yeah, this is another.